Welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about Ssangsu Geombup Ship Ilban, Form 11, right? Part 2. Depending on when and where you started your training, this part of the form especially has seen a lot of changes. As you just saw from the clip of what we're going to do, you're going to see some things that you're like, that's a choice, right? So those are all, so most of the form, at least that part of the form, has changed for me, two major parts in particular. So our left wing position and the way we advance towards our final direction when we're going to, I think that's stage left, we'll see in post, right? But the footwork as well as the left wing guard have changed, at least for me, in the past couple years, being, I think, past 5 years. So keep that in mind, like if you learn something different, that's fine. Like all of these things have different uses, but this is I'm trying to give you what I know as of the day of this recording. So let's take a look. The beginning of this part of the form hasn't really changed over the years, right? So we're here, we've done our thrust to the either solar plexus or the heart, right? The heart's on this side, but from here, all we're going to do is, again, same idea. You can lead with that back foot. We're going to cross cut. You're going to bring the sword all the way around the head, cross cut, and when we bounce back, we're going to go into what we call a left wing guard. So I'm going to do that in several different angles because this is one of those things that has changed. So the cross cut's been has been pretty stable since even I learned it again 20 years ago. But from this angle, again, I thrusted. I'm going to cross cut. I'm going to bounce back into our left wing position. So let's talk about this left wing. So right wing, we did a little bit, right, in the early part of the form. I did on this side, whether or not it should be in the front or the side. I honestly have forgotten, so keep that in mind, right? But, so right wing because the blade is on the right, left wing because the blade is on the left, right? So think about when we do our X block, right? And just collapsing it on your side. So the bottom of the sword can still be, again, generally central, but you want, notice my arms are fully X'd together on this side. So this is a very interesting position to be in, but this is this position, right? Now, if you've done this for a very, very long time, you may have seen people just do this, right? I think when I first learned it, I think it was even like cupping the bottom this way, right? So it was very, very loose, but it was on the side, a lot more casually, like on the shoulder, right? There were many flavorful names for this because the way you advance next is just very kind of up this way originally, right? So there were some fun names with that, which I'm going to leave to your imagination. But the idea is the right arm is mostly extended, left arm is also mostly extended, but again, everything's off to the side this way, right? Kind of give it from a couple perspectives because goodness knows it's a weird one, right? So the idea being, I've just thrusted at this person. This might honestly just be a clear shot or making sure I'm good, right? So just making sure we're good, and going back towards either person that I've stabbed or someone who is in that same general direction, right? So we have our left wing guard here. I'm going to show you a few applications of that left wing as we get a little bit deeper, so don't worry, right? I'm not going to be like, here it is, moving on. I want to go into more detail as we get a little closer, so hang tight, right? But the next part is, once again, for me, it was new, right? So it's going to look very, very funny, as I thought it was very funny, right? So we're here, so it's going to be 2.5. I'm trying to think of a name for this kind of footwork because we quite literally never do it again. It is only in Form 11 as far as I've seen it. The idea is is going to be a heel toe step, but you're also going to plunge yourself down a little bit. So it's down in. Notice my knee is going to go on top of my foot as I push it straight up without pantsing myself. And again, 2, 1, 2, 3. And for that third one, I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing in the form. We're going to modify so you can kind of see what it might be doing. From here, you're going to be 1, 2, up, center cut, right? I want to say in frame, so that footwork is really weird. So let's try that again. So again, from here, we've done 2 of these guys. On the third one, we start, and we're going to jump into that big center cut. So let's talk about it, right? So this is a very, very specific piece of footwork, right? Now, you who might be trying to fight me, right? You've seen me just do my normal steps. I've done a lot of sliding steps, especially in this part of the form. If, again, not knowing what I'm going to say yet, right? If I'm here and I'm doing this, what are you thinking? You might be thinking something very different from what I might be. Like if I was fighting someone with that, honestly, if I was fighting someone with that, I'd be like, all right, are you feeling okay? like this feels like you're baiting me in for something, right? So like I've seen you fight relatively strategically, theoretically, because you're moving offline and doing all of these things that are being very thoughtful, and then you're doing this. So it's one of those things that might be like, all right, what's going on? So it might give me, the fighter, a pause, right? So that's kind of like going into a sparring match. If you've stalemated for a long time and you suddenly just do a big, weird, dramatic guard that you don't know what you're going to do next, just to kind of freak out the opponent, which I don't recommend, but people have done that. So when I see someone doing that, I really think they're trying to bait me in to strike them. And in reality, we might be, right? So a few different interpretations of that left wing. So left wing, we're coiled in this way. So one use of this, if I were doing, so I can remember there's 2 of these guys first. So on that third one, I'm going to be dropping down, using the broadside to smack a strike out of the way into a center cut, right? The way that I usually see it in the form, if I do say, hey, you can do this, at least to my students, not in front of someone who's testing, but at least for my students, I'm also okay if you give me kind of like a cover, using that deflection for the counter, right? So using this to also kind of bait them in like, hey, this is my dominant hand, you can try to get it, go for it. And then you smack it out of the way or you quickly deflect. So this is very much, again, a baiting guard. Like I want you to aim for some very nice areas, right? So if I'm here, we could do broadside center cut. We could do an X block center cut. Not in the form, but something you could do also is just short range uppercut, and then you can do maybe sliding back or something like that. So there are things you can do from that guard. It's one of those things you can do maybe once in a fight, and they're going to realize it's a gimmicky guard. Again, I could be mistaken, right? But keep that in mind, right? So let's talk about why that, right? Why that footwork? In addition to it being baity, right? I'm trying to get you to do something. It does give you a lot of upward momentum, right? As opposed to a lot of our normal footwork, this has nice forward momentum, right? We can also have angular momentum this way, but it doesn't have upward momentum. So one possible reason for this, right? In addition, again, to being baity, if I am going to be using that X block first before I counter, if I want to power the up, for example, I might be, again, getting my distance, make sure we're in a good distance this way. And from here, when my heel plants, I know this is the distance that I want. And I'm going to use the fact I can come upright to blast through whatever sword is coming into a counter, into a short stance center cut. So there are things I know, right? So myself included, when I first saw this, is you're making choices that are choices. So notice that I am heel toeing as opposed to sliding on the ball of the foot. That is a choice, right? So again, whether it's a good one or a bad one, that really depends on the practitioner and how much they train with it. That does give you a stable motion, as the ball of the foot can be a little bit more of a jerk push. It does give you some control over that momentum, as well as how deep this way and how forward I want to go at any given time. So I want you to play with that, think about it, play with it, just do so safely, right? Because it's very, very specific. So let's take it from the top of this section, again, highlighting some major things, right? So if we've given our thrust, we're going to do our crosscut, spin, crosscut, using, again, same idea with the momentum going forward. I'm going to bounce back into my left wing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Ha! I might be out of frame. And then we're going to do, again, sneak preview of the next part of the form. We're going to do a stab this way. So that'll be fun, right? So I want you to play with that idea. Again, think about what else you can do from left wing, as well as what you can do with that very specific piece of footwork, and have some fun, right? Again, this is also now, at this point, you are theoretically at least a first on going through this. So I want you to take your experience and engage with it. But with that, make sure you stay safe, stay humble, and keep training.